never dreamed it was possible. I thought it was just an urban legend. But it's true.
So, Kevin, whenever I hear about this game, Spirit Camera,
Yeah.
I always think of that song by the Vapors, Turning Japanese. It's got that line in there about I want a doctor to take your picture so I could look at you from inside as well.
Yeah, there you go.
So this is Spirit Camera, The Cursed Memoir. A 3DS game by Tecmo Koei, and Kevin, take it away. I didn't play this. Tell me what is this game about?
I heard about this game, and it seemed like it was kind of an interesting use of the whole artificial reality, or whatever they call that, AR.
Yeah, augmented reality.
Augmented reality, there you go. Same thing. And they give you this little book, and it's like a diary, and you use the camera on the 3DS, and you can see these things in the book, and you can see ghosts, like, in your own house, and you can take pictures of people, and you can see, like, their ghost face and stuff. So I was reading about this, and I was like, well, that sounds great. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go and get this game. And, and I got it, and, it's kind of like you were saying in the beginning, a side story to, Tecmo Koei's Fatal Frame series of games, which I always really kind of liked, where basically there's ghosts that come out and scare the shit out of you, and then you have to take their picture while they're coming at you. And did you ever play those games?
Yeah, I played, I think it was 2, and there might be one other one that I played, but I really remember 2 because I played it with my old roommate. And I remember that, we've talked a lot on the show about scary video games. And
right, yeah.
I think that Fatal Frame, to me, is one of the scariest games out there, simply because the ghosts in the game are, the game is third person, and the ghosts are completely invisible until you hold this camera up to your face, and then suddenly they're just fucking right on top of you. You're like, yeah. Oh my God. You're like taking pictures of them real fast. Like, trying to get them away from you.
Yeah, you're totally just trying to, like, get in, towards the ghost, that at the same time, like, everything in you is going, you really want to run away right now.
Yeah. Or you find yourself just, slowly creeping through the environment, and you keep holding the camera, because it takes a second for the camera to go up in front of your face. You're just, like, taking a step, and then, like, are there any ghosts around here? And, like, take another step, like, what is that?
Yeah. This game has none of that quite excitement. It's I have to say,
does it have a story?
Yeah, in fact, that's mainly what it is. I tell you, but I'll explain. I started playing this game in the bathtub, okay? Because most of my my portable gaming playing goes on in the bathroom, either when I'm taking a dump or I'm taking a bath.
Do you have the 3DS like suspended from a string in case you drop it so that it doesn't go in the tub with you?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I should totally set that up. I mean, because I've got regular consoles in every other room, so why not just have the portable systems in the bathroom?
Just hanging off of your shower curtain by like shoestrings. Yeah. Right, which one do I want today?
Constantly wiping the screen off because it's all wet, but. So it's funny. So the game, you set it down, you get oriented with the book. It's like this little flippy, flip page book, maybe about 12 pages in it total. And there's nothing, like, each page has a sort of a square on it, and it has like some images of things, but nothing that really makes too much sense. Sort of cloudy, or a picture of a guy standing there, or something like that. And you set that down, and you have to be in a very bright room to play this. I tried playing it in a dimly lit room, and it just completely will not work at all.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. So you can't really have it be that creepy, because it has to be like a hospital or something in terms of brightness.
A film set light set up on your 3DS.
Yeah, just blasting it with light in order for this thing to work. But so I was sitting there in the bathtub, and the game's like, well, look around and see if you can find, this spirit that wants to talk to you. And this part was actually kind of creepy for a quick second. Like, I'm panning around, and then over on my left, like, oddly, like, below where my bathtub was this girl. She's like, you're seeing my bathroom through the camera, but there's this girl sitting like next to me on my left, like almost directly on my left. And she's like talking to me, and I'm like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. And then I just realized, it's just your standard Japanese animated girl talking thing. And so she's telling, she's she's kind of lost. Her name's Maya, and she's stuck in this world or whatever, this story type of thing, and it's all involved in this diary, and you have to use the camera to try to help figure out what's going on. And really, though, it basically tells you all the time. It's like, find the page that the camera reacts to. Mm-hmm. So you flip to the page, and then the camera lights up, and it recognizes the page, and then that square that's on every page or whatever it is, the picture will change. Mm-hmm. It's just showing a video through it. But it's kind of cool because you're holding it up to it, or you got it set down on the floor, and you're seeing this whole other story and world kind of tell you a little tale that's going on. And then you get attacked by ghosts, and that part's really lame. Basically, there's a spirit, and you've got to move your body 360 degrees to try and find where it is in the room with you. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know if people have been listening to this show often when I've been on it, but I've been talking about having a bad back, and this is not the game to play when you have a bad back, because I'm constantly twisting myself in contorted positions to try and find...
What's that? You just sit in your computer chair and turn around, just spin around until you see something happen on the screen, and then stop your chair real fast.
Yeah, that would actually be brilliant. I should have done that. Instead, I'm sitting there in the stupid bathtub swinging this thing around. But no, I played it outside in my office, and but I didn't do the chair spinny thing. Anyway, basically, all you do is you keep the ghost, or at one point this giant hand, for instance, comes out of the thing, and. You keep it within the lens of the camera, and then it just charges up. You just get these little circles that kind of go around, and then when it's full up, you can take a picture, and that hurts the ghost. And you have to do it multiple times, and meanwhile, it's just kind of hitting you. Mm-hmm. It's not fun. It's not really interesting, or that you're kind of just you're just kind of trying to get over it and get through it. And there's a little hide-and-go-seek game that goes on with one of the ghosts within the book. You're flipping between the pages to find which one of these squares he's hiding in. Mm-hmm. But the whole time, this is more like a story. It probably lasted about 2 hours, and then it was pretty much over. There's some mini-games that are on there, but it really didn't... It was interesting while I was playing it, but this really, felt like it should have been a lot more. It should have been like a Fatal Frame, a lot longer of an experience, and maybe made the gameplay a little bit more exciting, And here it was mostly just, there's this 3D element where you're walking through an old house, and it's you're walking by these doors and everything, and Maya's talking to you, and she's like, how do he went to this door and stuff, and basically you don't do anything though. It's walking for you, and you can look around, and it's you hear this bottle drop, you hear this smash, and it's look around now and see what broke. Mm-hmm. And so you just look and you see the broken bottle, and it's just oh, you saw that the bottle was broken, and then it just keeps walking. And that's just
the world's most mundane horror game.
Yeah, it's totally like that, and and you're just all right, this is I don't get to move down the hall, I don't get to open the door or anything of the sort. There's a few puzzles and things you use your hands to touch the page, and that causes something to happen, and you have to sort of figure that out. But none of it is really all that interesting. It's a really cool technology demo of the way this augmented reality works, and they do some pretty cool things by the way the ghosts are sort of in the room with you, and it seems to recognize objects in the room. It's not like the ghost is walking through the chair or anything. They're doing something cool there with the camera. Not that I know what it is, but it just seems to sort of recognize some dimensions of the room that you're in. But at the same time, it's not that interesting. Well, it could have been a lot more.
Well, one of the big things is when we first looked at the 3DS when we first got them, we looked at the little AR cards that came with it, where you Mario would pop out of there, the little game that would pop out of them. And I always got the impression when I was looking at it that it was an interesting technology, but it didn't seem like it was far enough ahead to make a game out of, because there still seemed to be a lot of lag when you were turning the camera, or if you weren't in a very well lit location, it seemed to lose the AR card quite a bit.
Right.
Or that when you were, like I said, when you're turning the camera, that it wouldn't turn the 3D fast enough, so there'd be a little bit of lag, which kind of broke the immersion that you had by looking through this thing. Did you find that this had that same kind of thing?
Yeah, in fact, during the part where the hand was coming out, I actually had to quit that once, because the hand was like too far over. For some reason, it just decided that it wanted to attack like the shampoo on the counter, and I couldn't aim the camera at it and keep the diary page in the same shot. And so I was it just kept going to static, and it was like find the book, and I'm like, well, the hand's over here trying to get the shampoo bottle, and so I just like obviously it didn't want me playing in the bathroom or something, but no, it definitely. It had some issues there, but for the most part, it responded pretty well for what it was. It's just that, the gameplay could have been far more interesting in terms of just, fighting with these creatures and or making it, if they didn't want to have this action segment, then they could have made it more puzzle-based, and they didn't do that. This just really seemed like something where they sort of threw it together. They had some good ideas, but, they just didn't really have a game here.
Okay. How was the 3D?
Pretty good. I mean, it's weird though because in this case you're mainly looking through the camera at your own place. Mm-hmm. So you're seeing wherever room you're in, and the creatures are kind of coming in and out, and there's some reaching out towards you stuff that happens, but it's fairly limited. I mean, I've never had anything yet on the 3DS that actually was like sitting right in front of my face while I was playing it. But this game had a couple of effects that seemed like more pronounced 3D and less like, internal 3D or however you want to describe that. Not like looking in a shoebox, but sometimes some of this was floating outside of it a little bit, which was pretty cool. But still, it was like maybe a couple of inches above the screen, not so much like way out.
Does it use the 3D? Does it use the 3D camera when it's looking at your room? Do you get a sense of when you see your room on the screen? Does it look like it is in 3D as well, or is it still pretty flat?
I mean, I guess you get a sense of depth because, again, like, when Maya was talking to me, she's always in the same place, which is really unusual, too. Like,
so you had to go to your bathroom every time you wanted to play this?
Yeah. But in that example, though, she would always be on my left, and she would always be, like, sort of, like, her body was cut off from the side of the tub, mm-hmm. She was just kind of over. It's so funny talking about it like this. But she was totally, like, sitting like right there, and she was always in the same place. So I could wave the camera around, and move the thing around and spin around 360 degrees. But whenever she was having a conversation with me, she was always directly on my left. How did it know that? I'm not sure. Now, it was really unusual.
Could you like move the 3DS around her and see her from different angles, or did it kind of strap you into the one perspective?
No, she was 2D. I guess you could say. She really seemed like she was a cartoon. Now, the ghosts that attack you at times seem to be somewhat 2D, but then they sort of like their attacks, or they reach out for you, mm-hmm. and then that part of it is 3D. It's kind of coming through the screen there, and but even when you're looking at like say the flip book or whatever the diary, mm-hmm. Everything's contained within the pages until some event happens, like the hand coming out or the doll or whatever, and then it changes. But it's it's cool technology. Again, it's interesting what they're doing here, but they could have made a real game out of this. This just seemed, again, we get a lot of this with these new 3DS games where things just sort of feel half baked, and this is one of those things where it probably could have been a more enjoyable experience if they would have just really thought about it and made a bigger game out of it. Maybe they will. I mean, maybe they'll do something more interesting the next time around. It's I don't know. It's hard to say with some of these Japanese games that get ported and brought over here. If they're all just laughing. They sold it to us.
Everybody in Japan knows this was actually a joke, and I don't know why you people are buying this. Right. Well, I mean, is there anything else that you feel needs noting, or you want to throw down a rating?
No, I'm trying to play more of the adult games for the 3DS. We're playing these. I'm getting the new Silent Hill that's coming out. I think for the Vita, mm-hmm. and we played
Diablo, Silent Diablo.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. And that's a weird game, man. I don't even know what to think about that yet until I start playing it. But and we played the Resident Evil and everything, and I'm trying to look at that angle at these things, and this isn't if I was going to choose a horror game to play, I would go back and play the Resident Evil. I thought that was really good. Mm-hmm. We did that review with Corey. But on this one, I would tell everybody, you could potentially rent it, though I don't think you can, because are they going to really include the diary in with the rental? Do they do that?
Question. Yeah. Well, I know that for the original 3DS AR stuff, you could actually print those cards out. So, I mean, maybe if you could print the pages of the book out, that would work. But
you would probably spend more on ink than the game is worth playing.
Yeah.
I would just say pass on this. I don't know how. I don't want to say some old bullshit, but.
I guess it's we could just say it's a rental, but you need to rent it from a place that's going to give you the book as well, or else
right, yeah, or borrow it from a friend, maybe. Come over to my house and hang out and play it or something.
Kevin will give it to you. He doesn't care.
It's only 2 hours. I'll watch a movie, you play the game, and then that's it. You can leave.
But you have to do it in Kevin's fucking bathroom, man.
Yeah. Well, that's because that's where Maya is.
That's right. You can't see her anywhere else. All right. Come on up here, get in the tub.
I'm a dog.